Welcome to HERcast with Dr. Chito. On this episode, we're calling it What Teen Girls Really Think. I'm excited. And trust me, it's everything you didn't know you needed to hear. I'm sitting down with three fearless and fabulous young ladies. I have Tahira, I have Becky, and Kiton for a real, unfiltered conversation about life as a teenage girl today. We're talking school, pressure, maybe from home, big dreams, confidence, social media, friendships, and all the little things in between that shape who they are becoming. This episode is honest, is bold, and is full of powerful insights, not just for teen girls, but for every parent, mentor, and friend who wants to better understand and support their girls in their lives better. So get ready because what teen girls really think is not just a conversation. It's a wake up call, and let me be like a Gen Z here, a vibe and a celebration of the voices shaping the future. So let's go in, let's start. Welcome you to HERcast with Dr. Chito. I'm so excited. Like I said before, I love having chats with teenagers, teen girls. My son was asking me why he's not part of it. I'm like, I'm not a teen girl. But one day we'll do stuff with teen boys as well. So I'm going to just start off with this question. What's something elders always get wrong about teen girls? Tara, let's start with you. What do you think?
I think what adults always get wrong about teen girls is they basically think we're still immature. Like, I know with your child, you see them as a child, but we're growing up. We want to be seen as more independent individuals.
Wow.
So in an adult's mind, and I kind of relate because with my little cousins, I can kind of feel the adulty protective vibe. As they grow up, I don't want to acknowledge that they're grown up. I still want to see them as my little cousin in my mind. But they're growing up, they want to be more independent, and our parents don't really understand that yet, that we're not just their little kids anymore, we're becoming our own people.
Wow. How about you, Becky?
I think adults think we're over dramatic and we over exaggerate things, and they're not as bad as we make it seem. But most of the time, it actually is as bad as we make it seem.
It is as bad as you're making it seem, right?
Yes.
How about you, Kito?
I agree with Becky. I think adults think that we're overreacting or we're being oversensitive, and it just kind of just defeats us because they were teenagers before, and they know how it feels like. But I think once they reach that adulthood, I think that feeling just like they forget it because in this generation with new expectations, social media, things just get really hectic, and that's what they think that we don't have enough problems to complain. So yeah.
Well, see, that's why we're here because I always tell teenagers that as parents, we don't have a template for your generation. we're testing ourselves a bit.
Testing
but so it's so great to hear back because this will help a lot of people say, okay, let's readjust how we treat our teens. All right. So now, what's the biggest pressure girls your age face today, and how do you handle it?
So for me personally, I think it's like academic pressure because a lot of parents are paying so much for us to go to school and they just assume that, we have to be the best. But sometimes they want us to be the best. And sometimes it just gets over your head and it eventually builds up to anxiety and academic validation. And I think that it's just way too much for us to handle at this young age because they want us to try and do everything at this stage of our lives, but it's not really impossible because we're still growing, we're still developing. So
I'm a guilty parent because I love to hear that GPA goes up. But tell me, how should we handle it then? How do you think we should handle these academic pressures better?
I think parents need to acknowledge that your kid is trying, and even after a bad grade or after a good grade, I think there should always be a cause to celebrate because it may not be the best, but your child is improving, and that also builds up to that morale.
That's a great point.
Because if they're always talking down on you, even when you get a bad grade and you finally do better, but it's not good enough, it's not going to give you any motivation to actually perform at your best. So I think that has to be acknowledged.
How about you, Becky?
I think one of the biggest pressures girls face today is looks, mostly weight and acne. If you eat too much, you get a bit overweight, and it's seen as like not attractive, not in the beauty standards of 2025. Or if you have acne, it's not really attractive to most people's eyes, stuff like that.
The beauty standards have always been there, but I think what we're trying to push right now is just to be fit. You know, and I always tell people, don't worry about your weight, be fit. Once you fit and you involve yourself in exercise and run around, you'll be fit, you'll be happy inside, and just keep on saying, I am enough. I am beautiful. And I tell all my teens, look in the mirror. Are you not beautiful? You are. So I am beautiful. Set your own standards. That's what I would tell people like that. Well, how about you?
Okay. So I think the biggest pressure the teens face today is definitely like social or peer pressure. Because for me personally, I've dealt with it a lot in my, short time in high school, middle school, kind of. Because there are other girls, especially in girls, I feel like girls face it way more than boys. Other girls that seem way more advanced than you, like they know so much more, and you just look up to them and kind of want to be like them, like emulate them. So it's kind of like a pressure weighing down on you, like, oh, why can't I be pretty like Becky, or cool, like smart like Iton, So, social pressure.
But I guess the same thing here. And do you know the funny thing? We all went through it. I always tell when teens are talking and they think it's only their time, their generation, I'm like, see, we all went through it. The whole idea of the expectations and pressures, that part, social media part, we didn't go through it, but that part, we went through it. But I think what's worse in your time is that now you have social media that amplifies it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's something we have to understand, how to keep giving you guys the self-confidence that you need, How do you think we can give you that self-confidence?
The self-confidence?
That you need, like boost your confidence in yourself to be able to fight these pressures.
So what my parents kind of do to like boost my self-confidence is they always remind me that I'm enough. They help me, like there are things that I know I want to do, like, oh, I definitely want this makes me happy, this makes me feel more confident. So they encourage behaviors like those and like allow me to explore things that make me feel more confident so I could just build my confidence. They also try and shield me from the things that make me feel less confident, like people's harsh words. They don't use harsh words on me. Just like different types of things to make me feel more confident.
That's beautiful.
I think that it's not really what you guys can do, because it's a canon event and it's going to happen in every generation, and you just have to deal with it by yourself. But I think parents just have to be there, that for us to know that, oh, when we're going through this and we don't think we can go through it anymore, we can always run to them and they'll just like give us love, like, and give us support.
So we need to be more open so you can feel comfortable doing that, right? That's important. All right. So Becky, this is your question now.
Okay.
What's one thing you wish your parents understood better about your world?
I think one thing I wish they understood better was, just because our own generation is not the same as how theirs were back then, it's not easier. We still have our own pressure, our own problems, stuff like that.
So you feel that they need be more open to understanding that, even if we keep saying we read this before, we read, like that, but your pressures are different.
Yes.
There's one young girl that once said, and this was funny, she goes like, I know how every parent says they came first in class. No, and when you think, I would say, who came last? Which parent came last? But she said that, and it was funny. She said, okay, but I saw her result. She came first. But I was like, that's true. We keep on trying to put our, mirror, think that our lives mirror each other, and it really doesn't. All right. Who else wants to go with that question? What's one thing you wish your parents understood better about your world?
Being a girl right now, it comes with extra challenges because we have to prove ourselves more than boys do. I think with boys, they just exist. But with everything, because girls have, I won't say have more emotions, but we tend to be more sensitive. And we go through things that, they just overmind and say that, it's just nothing. But we have to prove ourselves more than boys do.
Becky, how can we change that? Is there a way we can change that, do you think? How do we change how... Because this is the world question, right? I mean, you guys have heard of the word gender equity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How do we change that notion that
I feel
you have to struggle more to be relevant?
I feel like people should be more understanding and shouldn't think, because I heard this, it's true. I feel like they should be able to listen to other people's opinions and understand them instead of listening to just one opinion.
Okay, Tara, how about you? How can we shift the whole gender trying to get like this whole thing that she said that girls tend to have to work much harder than, but it's kind of surprising coming from high school. I always felt that this is going to start in the real, when we throw you guys in the real world. But if we're starting from here, I want to understand more and understand how can we change this from this point as a teenager.
I think naturally people have this bias that girls are, they need more work, they're more high maintenance than boys. So we first need to get rid of that mentality that girls need more to be successful than boys before we start actually doing, like, competing on the same level as them. Like, obviously there's biological differences, you know, we don't have as much muscle mass or whatever as them, but we can participate in our own right and kind of have our own category that doesn't need as much involvement, I'd say. Like, we can do it on our own. We don't need that much of your criticism. And
this is very interesting because, you know, this is like one of the notions I've always had about teen girls, because I have a teen boy. It's like, oh my God, teen girls are so self-motivated. They kind of push themselves. And this is coming now at a different angle, telling me that we're so self-motivated because we have no choice. Now, I'm going to go to something. Everybody has someone that serves as either a role model or someone you admire, someone you look up to. So I'm going to ask you, Kitan, who is a woman, and let's not assume who is the person, because it might not even be a woman, you look up to, and why?
Give 2 answers.
You want to give 2 answers? Okay, give me 2 answers. That's fine.
First, I'd say my mother.
Aww.
Because she inspires me to be resourceful and to just do what I can to be a leader. Because I feel like when I look at her, I see she's a natural born leader. I don't know where I get it from. And then another woman is Dora Akunyili. She was the director of NAFDAC. She fought to stop drug use and different things in Nigeria, and I feel like she was put in a position, especially during those times where women's rights movements still were undermined. She fought against that and rose out. Even Miss Hamel has so rest in peace, but she really did a lot of changes in Nigeria, and I respect her a lot for that.
How about you, Beth?
I think my biggest role model is my mom as well, because she teaches me like to be myself instead of fitting into the standards of 2025. She's very responsible. She's always effortlessly beautiful. So I aspire to be like her.
I love that. She'd love to hear that she's effortlessly beautiful. That's why you look like this too. So you share her genes. All right. Okay, how about you, Tahira?
I'd say my mom as well.
Oh my goodness, your mom's be so happy. They did a great job.
My mom is the one person that I think knows me more than I know myself. And like, especially during the times that I was trying to figure out who I was, she was always there. She was always my rock. She would be there for me. She'd know when I'm down without me having to tell her. She just always kind of given me the support and love that I need without me ever asking her to or me ever having to tell her. And even when I'd say, in my opinion, I wasn't the best daughter, she was always the best mom.
Oh, I need to hear that from my kids. All right. So Becky, when do you feel most confident? When do you feel most powerful?
I feel most confident around people that like understand me, people that give me positive affirmations, like Tahira and Kiton. I feel very confident around them.
Oh, that's nice. How about you, Kiton?
I think it's when I'm speaking my truth, when I'm standing up against something that isn't right. I remember we had a conversation in school about education, and we're talking about child marriages and how that also affects it. And a couple of boys were like saying things that didn't make any sense. And I felt confident when I was able to respond to those biased statements and say that, but these things aren't fair, and just be strong and confident in myself.
How about you, Tara? When do you feel most powerful?
I feel most powerful and confident when I'm by myself and I'm doing something I love. Like, I remember either a few days ago or like last week, I was in my room. I was just with the window open. I was reading, and I just realized I felt so at peace and so at home and so confident and so happy. So when I'm doing something that I know I love and I'm by myself and I'm comfortable with myself, I just feel confident and happy and loved.
Oh, that's great. So now, I'm going to do some fun. Where's the fun questions? Are you ready, Becky?
Yeah.
I'm starting. Okay, let me start with Tahira now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Since you're like, let's go. If your life was a playlist,
Okay, I know this one. I know this one.
What 3 songs will be on it right now?
Okay, so this was a kind of hard choice because I have a super long
Playlist?
different songs, like over 100 songs.
Wow.
But I'd say the 3 songs that are like emulating my life, kind of where I am now. This is Home by Cape Town, Tech It by Caffeine, and In My Mind by Lil Lapid.
Oh, wow. I don't know any of these artists, but I think they're great. How about you?
I think the 3 songs would be Take It Like Tahira said, Superpowers by Daniel Caesar, and I Don't Want to Be With You Anymore by Billie Eilish.
Wow. Okay, at least I know Billie Eilish.
Yes.
How about you?
Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now by The Smiths, Favor by Lawrence Oyo, and Power by Little Mix.
You know, I think I must really be outdated. I'm hearing this, but like, okay.
No, it's just like different
Different
styles,
styles.
different
Yes.
music types.
No, I'm outdated.
genres.
I accept it, but that's great because I'm gonna go and listen to all these songs
You should. They're
and
definitely
gotta get
so
to know
good.
each of you better.
Yeah.
All right. If you could create a teen girl survival kit, all right, Kita, I'll start with you. If you could create a teen girl survival kit, what would be in it?
Okay, so I'd have a mirror just so that you can look at yourself. I'd have a little note that says you are enough. Because I think sometimes just need that constant reminder that you are enough. And I would have period products, obviously, because like some of the little essentials, lip gloss, hand sanitizer, and then pepper spray, because this is a
Yes.
dangerous world out there, and it's
Yes.
very sad to say that we need it, but we really do for our survival and for our safety.
Just pray the right person.
Amen.
All right.
I think in my survival kit, I would put lip gloss, obviously.
Mhm.
I would put headphones to listen to music. I would have my phone, charger, a mirror, and period products.
Okay.
Okay, in my teen survival kit, I'll have lip gloss, obviously. I'd have your favorite book, headphones and music, and an empty notepad and pen, so you could just write whatever thoughts come
I know
to
you love
Yeah,
your notepad.
I love my notepad. I just feel like writing is so comforting, especially when you have a lot of your mind. It's a good way to get things out, especially when there's no one you can tell. Just writing has always been there.
All right. So Tahir, what's one trend you love and one you wish would disappear forever?
Ever, yes.
So many things trend all the time.
Yes.
But what's the one trend that you really love?
The one trend that I really love, I don't know if it can be called a trend, but I love when people, like individuals, have their different outfits. It's like
Yes.
character customization in real life. Because this outfit I'm wearing right now, I feel very free and comfortable in it. I love when they have a lot of accessories, a lot of rings, a lot of bangles. They do their makeup in crazy fun ways. Like, I love it so much. It just really shines out your inner personality and your soul. Just shows like a glimpse into who you are from an outside perspective.
So which one do you want to disappear?
Definitely the unconventional beauty standards and the kind of push for women nowadays to get like cosmetic surgery. Because I think like a few years ago, people used to tell me that, oh, your body shape isn't nice, you're a figure 1 or whatever. And that kind of pushed me into a dark place. And I'm seeing a lot of people online that are like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I need to get plastic surgery, to kind of affirm the beliefs that other people have of themselves. Like they've kind of lost their
False perceptions, I call them.
Yes, definitely. They kind of don't even know, they don't love themselves anymore because of what other people are telling them. So they're being forced to change their bodies and change their faces until they can't even recognize themselves anymore. And by then it's too late.
That's true, and I think I'm happy you're aware of that, because that's why I try to get young girls, and they're so beautiful, you're so pretty, and then you come and you're doing this shift. Who defines beauty? You define it yourself.
Exactly.
And I know as teenagers you're going to be shaky, you're going to be confused about it, you're going to watch things on TV that may tell you different, but at the end you define it yourself. And that's what I always say. How about you, Becky?
A trend I really like is the same one as Tahira, actually. I love when people express themselves in their outfits. Like, they're not scared to really show who they truly are, not like fit into the standards of how people are nowadays. And I think a trend I really want to disappear is like on TikTok, I've been seeing people normalizing teenage pregnancies.
Yes.
So it's like, don't normalize it. It's not.
Because it's not meant to be normalized.
Yeah.
Yes, and we don't talk about it a lot with here, but you're right. That's a trend. That should be. And I'm happy hearing you say it, because you know what? You are your best advocate to your peers. So them hearing you is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how about you?
I think the trend I really love is women supporting other women. I
Mm.
think when you just see a video, and there's a video on your For You page, and you open the comments, and you just see a lot of people slandering you, but then you now see women encouraging the person to like, oh, you're doing so well, good job, and it just makes your life better.
Mhm.
And a trend that actually would disappear forever would be toxic relationships.
Yeah.
People normalize it, and it's like this is not what you're supposed to. It's not what it's supposed
Some
to
crazy
be.
things being normal.
Some things that just don't need to be normalized are being normalized.
I'm happy. I think I'm glad. I'm excited that you recognize as teenagers the things that should not be normalized, and
Yeah.
that's so refreshing. And as I said to Becky, you have to remember that these are things when you talk to your fellow peers, you say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because I when I listening to three of you, I hear women that will do teens that will go to women that will break ceilings. Because the only people that actually break those ceilings are those that do not have to be within the crowd. It's hard to be among your people that will think beyond
People that
that and
aren't
be
scared to
confident.
stick out.
And stick out. Those are the people that you see successful. Those are people that you end up becoming role models and people look up to you. They're never among the common crowd. And I see you guys being those set of people. And I'm excited. I just wish I can follow you guys all the way up. Now, what's one lesson every girl should learn before the age of 18? Who's going to start this one? I'm going to take to pick yourselves. Your
We do
friends.
rock, paper, scissors.
Should we? Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay,
Okay,
you're
so I'm out.
Rock,
Okay.
paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, you're
so-
starting.
Okay.
So I think the lesson that every girl should learn is that you don't need external validation to please yourself. That you are enough for who you want to be, and you don't need other people's opinions to make you feel better about yourself.
Awesome. How about you, Becky?
I think they should just learn to be themselves. They shouldn't let other people's opinions bring them down. They shouldn't try to fit into other people's standards. They should just express themselves freely.
How about you?
He does not define you.
Yes.
I think I see a lot of girls out there looking for a boyfriend, but that doesn't make you who you are. That doesn't make you who you are. You can be fine without one, you can be fine with one, but you just need to know who you are and be confident in like that.
I love that he does not define, and that's important.
Mhm.
And you're gonna hold on to that as you grow
Okay.
older. Trust me, that's great. I'm gonna ask you guys describe yourself in 3 words, and then I'm gonna ask your friends, the other two, if they agree. Are you ready? Who am I starting with? Don't do the two. I'm gonna just pick you. Okay, Kitan, define yourself in 3 words.
Loyal, trustworthy, and caring.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Definitely. All right, Becky.
Generous, kind, and I'd like to think of myself as funny.
Okay.
Heavy on the generous.
All right, Tahira.
Forgiving,
Yes.
understanding, and growing.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
All right. What makes a girl, you said it, but I'm going to ask it, feel truly supported by her family and friends? What makes a girl feel? What is that? Tyra, start with you.
Okay. What makes a girl feel truly supported? Let me speak on behalf of myself and the people that I know, like close. They just want you to constantly check in on them, to acknowledge their hobbies, try and resonate with them. Girls like it when you show interest in something that they love. So you doing that will make them feel supported. Like, oh, he gets me, she gets me.
Mhm.
She understands. She wants to try and understand me.
All right, how about you?
I feel like one thing is maybe when people are supportive, even if you don't really do well. Like, for example, let's say you fail a test, but your friends are still saying, oh, they're proud of you, you can do better next time. Your family's saying you can do better next time.
Okay, how about you?
I think sometimes when we don't know it ourselves, but our friends around us know that, oh, we're going through something, but you don't want to admit it yourself, but you think that you are not, but they know you better than you know yourselves. So I think when they're just there, even when you don't want them to be, that shows the utmost support.
Right. What's one fear you've overcome that made you stronger? Kitan.
Stage fright.
Oh,
Yes.
it's gonna climb. You have stage fright. Have you overcome the stage fright?
Yes,
now?
I have. I remember when I first came into school, I would run away from like anything that involved public speaking because I was just afraid of what other people would think about me. But growing up, I realized that I don't really care. what they
Not
say
bad.
or what they think doesn't affect me in any way possible. So
That's awesome. How about you, Becky? What's
Mine
one
is
fear?
public speaking.
Public
Yeah.
speaking.
I'm a bit nervous right now, actually, but like I've learned
You're
to
doing
overcome
very
it.
well. I don't see any sign of nervousness at all.
But like I've learned to overcome it. Like even if I'm not fully brave, at least I'm trying my best.
Oh, you're doing very well. I would never have guessed you're nervous. I just see you cool, calm. All right.
Okay.
Terry, how about you?
Okay.
What's one fear?
One fear of rejection, definitely. I'm sure Kitan and Becky know I've had a rough time in school. I'd not say like a rough time per se, but like kind of. Like 2-3 years ago, I used to be kind of clingy to people because I was scared that they'd leave me if I wasn't funny enough or interesting enough. I used to cling to fake friends and fake people to try and validate my image of myself. But thank God I've grown out of that now. I have real friends and I have people around me that love me and just make me feel loved.
Amazing. That's something I'm so happy you overcame because
Thank
you're
you so much.
amazing.
Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness.
You're amazing
All
too.
right. All right. Now, what do you think your generation, right, will be remembered for?
no,
Becky, I'll start with you.
Probably,
What do you think your generation will be remembered for?
probably the slang and clothing style.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like our clothing style is not, it's like unique, even though some people tend to do like, oh, Y2K, that's kind of like 2000s outfits and stuff like that.
Please
Oh,
explain
yeah.
this Y2K for me. I feel like whenever I'm hanging with kids, I must take something with it. Explain Y2K.
Y2K is like an outfit style that's like kind of resembles like outfits people would wear in like the 2000s and
Can
stuff
you
like
imagine?
that.
Oh my. So I didn't need to throw away my stuff. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Almost like there's a group called I used to have like really comfortable crazy styles called TLC. They have like the baggy pants or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm sure you will like their style.
Definitely.
So I think that's more like the Y2K I'm thinking. Right? Wait, how about you, Kiton? I've asked you this. I've asked you, right?
I think it would be our voices. This generation is, I think we've come to learn that this world isn't fair, and if we don't do something about it, then it's just going to keep going the way it is. So I think that's what we'll be remembered for. How we learn how to speak up when something is wrong, how we know when things we stand up for what we believe in, and making a change basically.
How about you,
I
Tim?
definitely agree with Kitan. We're going to be remembered for speaking up, for breaking out of the social norms, this kind of idea, beauty standards. I feel like our generation is going to be the one to break out of it, make new rules for themselves. Like, we're not like the old people. No offense, I'm so sorry. We're not like the older generation. We're
like that.
ourselves. We're our true selves, and we're going to stay true to ourselves.
And that is awesome. And I think I will remember your generation for creativity. Absolutely creative and expressive, which is what you're saying. I think that's when I see your guys, I just see creativity. And for us as parents, it's new because in our time, our parents didn't face what we face. So, Becky, what's one dream you're chasing and how are you planning to get there?
I think one of my biggest dreams is to become a doctor somewhere in medicine. And I think one way I'm going to chase it is by staying very focused in school, especially science, and learning more about it from this age.
And humanity.
Yeah.
I always tell people that if you're thinking of doing medicine, not I'm biased, I'm like completely biased here. If you're thinking of doing medicine, then you should start volunteering. And so a lot of stuff that goes into medicine is also humanity.
Yeah.
All right. So Tahiri, you next.
Okay.
What's your big dream?
My biggest dream is I want to help people because in my life, there's nothing I could have done by myself. I've been helped so much. I want to become a pediatric psychologist, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, help people in ways they don't know they want to be helped. People with mental illnesses, disturbances. I just want to be able to resonate with them and help them because I don't know if you could tell I'm a bit of an empath. I can feel vibes, emotions. I'm very good with that. And one way I'm chasing this dream is I've been very focused in school and maintain high grades. And I planned a few internships over the summer, kind of to get myself more involved and just basically steps to reach where I want to be.
I think that's amazing. That's really amazing because psychology is there's huge gaps in
It's very
psychology.
overlooked. As a
Very
Yeah.
overlooked
Yeah.
and needed. And I love the fact that you picked pediatric psychologists.
I love
Why
kids.
the pediatric?
I
You love
love
kids?
I am the oldest girl in my family. I have so many little cousins. I think I've talked about them earlier.
Yes, you
I
did.
have Sama, Zara, Aya, Alia, so many of them, and I just love them so much. So it just hurts me when they're struggling and they don't know what they're struggling with, because it's not like it's a physical wound that you can see. It's something mental, something that you don't even know about until you're told about it or you research on it. I just want to be able to help them.
And you will.
I will.
Because you
Yes.
have it. You will.
I will.
Kita, how about you?
Okay, I think I'm a huge advocate for women and their health, and I'd like to be an obstetrician and a gynecologist
Yeah.
like you.
This got better. This got better.
I think our gender is overlooked and our needs are also overlooked, and it's so shocking that this field, which is about women, is mostly run by men. So I think
Yes.
that we need to take that back. We need to fight for our health, our rights, and I want to be part of the people that make that change, especially in countries like Nigeria.
Very much needed. Very much needed. And I'm excited. Like 2 out of 3, not even 2 out of 3, because you're right there. Because I did psychology before I did medicine. So
kind of like in the
it's so
medicine
connected.
range.
Everything is so connected, and I'm so proud of these girls.
Thank you.
I can take all of you with my daughters. I'll tell your mom's parents to go. Now, if you could send a message to all the moms and dads out there, what would you say?
Just because kids are not doing, like, living up to your expectations doesn't mean they're not trying their best. Like, most of us, we're really trying our best, but it doesn't really live up to what they think is our best, and they think we can really push more. But sometimes it's really we're trying our hardest.
How about you, Tanya?
I think parents, like, the message I want to say is always be there for your child, because they may seem like they know what they're doing and they know where they want to be and they don't want to talk to you anymore, but deep down they just really need their mom and dad sometimes.
How about you, Chrissy?
Behind that girl who is smiling and who is running up to you after school is someone who, when they go home, they just think about things, go through dark thoughts, and I feel like we just need to accept that it's just that's how teenagers are, and we just always have to make sure that they know that we are there for support. And I think our parents out there should just take it easy on your teenage girls, because this life is
Stop being
not
so scared.
it's not I think our parents should be the first people that we should run to when something is wrong, and not our friends.
Oh, that would be a work in progress. Because we are particularly, I'm a mom, so I don't know if I'm speaking for all moms, but I'll say that sometimes we get very overly protective over our girls.
Yeah.
And I think it's out of the deepest love a parent can possibly have. And what we're scared of is making sure that you're not hurt. But, I think this message and speaking to you guys today is very important, because we have to make sure that in trying to make sure you're not hurt and being so overprotective, we're actually hurting you too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm getting that message. I just want to say that just listening to this conversation from where I'm sitting, I can tell you that a lot of moms and dads will just take out their paper or be really in tune to what you're saying. That's what I was like, hope you can hear her, because you have said a lot that I'm taking home with me. And it's so important, because most of us are guilty of wanting you guys to get the best, be the best, just because we just want to make sure they don't fail in life.
Yeah.
They get to the top, they're comfortable, that kind of feeling. But I've learned a lot, just learning how to know and appreciate, like you said, even if it's not the A, but you got the B from the C. Praise that.
Yeah.
And I love that. I've heard a lot. I've learned a lot. You guys have any final message to the world?
Okay, I think I have
All right, what do you have?
Hi mom, hi dad, I'm on TV.
How about you? Any final message to the world?
I think I would just say, you should just be yourself. Don't let other people's opinions bring you down.
How about you?
Life is good. Learn to live it.
Yes.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you so much, Tahira, Becky, and Chito. This is amazing. And that's a wrap on this powerful episode of HERcast with Dr. Chito.
Yay!
To every teen girl out there, we see you, we hear you, and we believe in your magic. And to the parents, mentors, and friends watching, thank you for showing up to better understand and support the next generation of leaders. Love this conversation? There's more where that came from. You can watch it on YouTube, HERcast with Dr. Chito. Listen on all your popular podcast platforms. Follow us on Instagram at HERcast Podcast and at Dr. Chito N. And also catch us on TV, Rapid TV, channel 176, Saturdays at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe because when her voice is heard, the world changes. See you next time on HERcast, where her strength is your inspiration.
Bye.
Bye.